Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekend, the show. I'm Mal Lee, your host for this evening, and yes, we have a guest in the studio. Kevin Moore, welcome, Grassroots referee, level 5, Kev. And you're not originally from Liverpool, are you? But you've come in because, hey ho, come on, tell us the story.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I started refereeing when I was about 8. Right, I picked up the flag for the first time in school. Right, I was running the line, and I was one of the few people who knew the offside rule.
Well, I don't know if it does know the offside, to be honest, but go on then.
You know what? Absolutely loved it. So I loved playing and loved being involved. So, do you know what? It was natural progression from there. I mean, from being 8 now to 43. What's that? This 35 years in toto.
So when did you officially become a referee then?
14 is when I first did my course.
Brilliant.
Right, and I've been in and out over the next 25 years. Very in and out. Right, I served a bit of military, run my own company, had a few health problems.
You've done a skydive with us as well though, Kev, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well done, combated that, see. Well done. Everyone, any health problems, come to us, we'll cure it, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Matt will throw you out of a plane, then he'll get you to do some 3 peaks over Yorkshire.
24 hours?
21 hours, I think.
24, come on. I'll give you an extra 3 there.
Oh, God, my...
Well, that's it anyway, health problems cured by us. Just come and join us with a heart of gold, that's what it's all for. But we've enjoyed ourselves along the way, haven't we, Kev?
Oh.
Now, obviously in the news and on social media, basically, because we always talk about the news, but it has been in the news, because we had a Merseyside Youth Football League, they cancelled the fixtures, Saturday gone, and also we're getting a lot of verbal abuse. My honest opinion, I don't see the verbal abuse and what referees getting threatened coming from the small side of the game. We do have our problems, we know verbal abuse does come from the touchlines,
Yeah.
but when these referees have been assaulted, is it the amateur game? Is it really serious in the amateur game? Because these are adults, and sometimes adults have their own way of doing things.
Okay, I'm going to use pretty much the last 35 years on this one as my benchmark, okay? Because football is about opinions, and how you see something is how you comment on it, all right? But you can comment on it in a respectful way, or you can shout abuse, right? And this abuse was going on in football stadia, you know, before the Highfield disaster, and because I was standing there in the terraces at Coventry City, right, and you heard and you thought this was acceptable, being a nipper at like 10 years old. This is acceptable, but it's not acceptable, because would you say that person to that person's face in the street? No, because you'd be chastised and punished back then for it. Now you can, it's the opinion is, you can say whatever you want to a referee because it's okay, because it's football. And you touched on that league who suspended all fixtures. Now, I don't know how true or not this is, but I've had it on good authority that the secretary who cancelled the fixtures has been receiving anonymous phone calls and been basically getting a lot of abuse for what she did standing up for referees. And that is, this is a game. Football isn't life or death, right? It's more important than that, is a quote by a nice gentleman up here, okay? But it is a game to be enjoyed. I mean, I do the Walton and Kirdale and the North Liverpool JFL, okay? Encouragement. You want to support kids. You want to help them. You want to, like, okay, right, I'll just pick a name out of fresh air. Okay, little Jakey's done a foul on little Mikey. Right, Jakey, here's the foul. Here's what you've done wrong. Okay, this is where I get a bit controversial. I'll say to little Jakey, right, this is what you could have done differently. Instead of, say, hacking the player, right, this is what you could have done differently, so you wouldn't have given away a foul. And then little Jakey comes up and says thank you. All right, so 9 times out of 10 he doesn't. But you know, that one little thank you, right, just touches the old heartstrings.
And I think I read a post you put on. Do you want to explain that post? Because it was a kids' game last Saturday, was it not? Or was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was Sunday.
Okay.
One lad, it was just being. Ooh. Every player can push a referee's buttons at times, and you're just like, oh God, you're 8 years old and you are so close to a yellow card, but is booking you really the right thing to do, right? And he's just come up with about 5 minutes to go because well, thanks ref. What for? So I mean, when I foul, you like tell me what I could have done differently, and then comes out with, can you referee me every week? I'm like, I've gone from what do I do with this child to, oh my God, that's just
Touching.
It was one of those moments. I just had to like take myself out for a few minutes. Just like that was just wow. One of those wow moments you get in football.
That's lovely to hear as well, yeah.
You do have loads of them over your lifespan.
Because they only want to develop.
Yeah.
And that's what these parents, spectators, I think parents, spectators, are doing. Yeah. They're not letting the kids develop. They're living their lives through their own lives. When they were playing football, what would they have done differently?
Okay, hang on. Let's just remember that the game of football was different in the parents' day to what it is the child's day. So it's up for the parent to evolve now. They evolve their attitude towards the game and support their child and support the other kids on the field as well. Even the opposition is like, oh, well played, you know, give them a little round of applause. Win, lose or draw, right? It shouldn't matter.
In a real world, it shouldn't matter.
No, I know in a real world, but there's just this, everybody has to win culture at everything that they do at the minute, and enjoyment for me has just been slowly eroded out of the game.
We were talking off camera and off recording earlier on, and we mentioned about why is it so different at the start of the season, because we're only 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in to the season, and people seem to be attitudes seem to be more arrogant, more threatening, could you say, in a sense, if that's the right word. People are not as pleasant and as friendly as what I've seen them. Now, my honest opinion is it to do with what is happening in society. These parents are worried about the energy bills, they're worried about money in their pocket, they're worrying about the child playing football, how are they going to afford it, what have they got facing them in future. And I said this on local radio, on Radio City as well, I did mention this. I'm worried about that being the situation for many.
Okay, yeah.
No excuse. There's no excuse.
No. There's no excuse, right? But at the end of the day, what you've just given me there is like you've just literally just thrown a football at me, right, with a million problems around with it, and go deal with it.
10 footballs.
Yeah, 10 footballs. It's not football now; it's dodgeball.
Well, there you go. There you go.
All right. This is just for me, all right? Okay. If something is being overwhelming, I will personally take a step back and I will look at things like, okay, now you touch on one, the energy bill, the energy thing going on at the moment, all right? Now, do you remember the toilet roll crisis? Where they're all over the internet and go, we're going to run out of crap paper, and oh no, the world's going to end at midnight. I'm like, no, get a grip. So I took a step back, myself personally, and had a look into it, and I'm like, idiots, carry on. Right, and never got involved. Yeah. And the new one is we're going to run out of electricity. No, we're not. We've got a surplus in this country. We're more likely to run out of toilet paper. Okay, that's not an endorsement that we're going to run out of toilet paper.
No, it's not. But I know where you're coming from on the next one.
It's like, take a step back and have a look at the situation. Do your own research, which is what people don't do anymore.
No panic.
Yeah, it's panic buying, panic looking, believing everything you read, hear and see, and you know, not doing your own investigation and looking into it yourself and going, this person's being an idiot, this is a load of lies, this text is a scam. The list just goes on and on. It's like, where does it end?
Where does it end? Is it going to end? Is it going to get better? Well, fingers crossed, you know, we want to see improvement. Have you had any incidents yourself in the small side of football. Which would you compare? Which is, you've done older games, you've done amateur games and the kids' games. So on a level of, say, 10,
Ooh.
which would you prefer?
Ooh. Now that I'm putting you on the spot, is there? So like,
No.
if there's going to be teams watching this, I mean, like, okay, I mean, I come up here, 4 years ago, and I just kind of never left. You know, it was November the 14th.
Welcome to Liverpool. Bit late, like what
November 14th, 2018 was that's the day I came up and never left, but I've been up before.
See, scouts have a hold on you, see, Kev. That's what it is. You don't want to leave.
I know. I just find it like, I love it. You know what? I go home for a rest because you. All right, scouts are just full on enjoyment. I mean, I was at the boxing Saturday. You got IBO new world champion, right? You know, and I've refereed that lad, but he played for Byron Street, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, the people that you meet doing the football, but putting me on the spot like that is a really bad thing to do. All right, 5 aside, I look at that more as like the teaching and the guiding part. The 7 aside, yeah, there's a little bit of teaching, a little bit of working with the kids, but I try to introduce the advantage rule as well. But it's totally dependent on ability, whether it can or can't be, right? But I'll let the teams know, right? And you've heard me on the sidelines. I mean, like you'd hear me in Timbuktu and I'll shout.
Yeah, shouting at all the parents. No, he doesn't really, doesn't.
Do you know what? That's one thing I really haven't had to do this season in both leagues. Touch wood so far. I mean,
Yeah,
I know it'll happen at some point. You know, a parent will disagree with the decision. Right?
That's unusual, Kev.
Oh yeah, highly unusual. But to be fair, I don't take any nonsense on the field, but I don't take any off it either. So if a parent starts shouting, okay, I will raise my hand and say stop. Right? And if that doesn't work, then I'll speak to the manager to get that parent to stop. Okay? Because at the end of the day...
But what if it's the manager?
If it's the manager, I will just go over to the manager and I'll have a quiet word in his ear first. Alright? Remember, this is kids' football and whatnot. Alright? But if the manager is being downright abusive, that manager is gone. Okay? I do not want to hear one swear word on a field of play when there is an under 16 involved. One swear word for me, okay, even if it's a faux pas slip, you say the F word, ref, you are gone. That is no place for that.
Love that. Young referees, listen to that. But then again, I'm saying young referees, sometimes they panic, don't they? They're only youngsters, 14, 15.
This is part of what I said I'd do with the Saturday and Sunday referees at North Liverpool and at the Walton and Kirkdale.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll do my game, right, but I've also got an eye on what's going on around me. The 5 aside.
You're always watching me, I know that.
Well,
I'm doing my job.
You can't miss him, really, can you?
It's voluntary, by the way. It's voluntary job I'm doing.
But like, I keep an eye on what's going on, and like, if I haven't seen it, but if I see somebody struggling, right, I'll give the referee on the other pitch a thumbs up of like, are you okay?
Like it.
Yeah. Support each other and try to help each other as best we can.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? Because they're enclosed pitches. This is 3G pitches. You can see that all going on. But when you've got the grass games where they're on their own and they can't see that referee, they're a little bit... It's an intimidation, isn't it, towards... And I've seen that. I've literally seen, but not parents, managers, intimidate a young referee. And the good thing about it, one incident was, the kid was about, I'd say 15, and lo and behold, one of the coaches, would you believe this, went up to him, but I'm stood behind watching, went to him and say, every time they come through, it's offside, okay? So, yes, intimidation, walks away, and I've got that. And I did say to the half-time, I approached the youngster, and I said to him, did he just tell you to put that flag up when you come through for offside? And he did say yes, and he was panicking. So, which 9 times out of 10 on a football field, this never happens.
Was this a game with one official or three officials?
3 officials.
3 officials?
Yes. So,
Ooh.
I went over to the league secretary and I asked for that youngster to move on to the other line away from him and put the experienced liner on there. And faces tended to drop. There was no threats, it helps the youngster, and the committee dealt with him at the end of the game. But if I wasn't there, Kev, how would the youngster have handled it?
Well, this is like for all you junior referees out there, alright? If something isn't right, or you feel that you're not being supported or anything like that, alright, on social media, you'll find me on Mal's. I mean, like, I pretty much like every one of his posts that he sticks on anyway. So you'll find me. Okay, look, if you need to talk, or you want to talk, or something's not right, or something's really bugging you, speak up and say something. Okay, well, you can email Mal
At don'txtheline.com.
yeah. Speak out, say something. Living in your own head, all you do is destroy yourself. When you speak out and you talk about what is truly bugging you and what is really going on for you, you take the power out of that situation. And it's like a floodgate opens in the mind, and it's a lot of relief, right? Until you've actually experienced it, you won't know what I'm talking about. But I encourage anybody, if you do have any problems, or you feel like you've been bullied or intimidated, speak out, say something. People will listen. I certainly will, and I'm sure Mal certainly will as well.
100%. 100%, and we get you through it, because we've been experienced through that with young referees. Not every referee, yeah, we can hold our hands up, but as you say, some of the young referees don't talk. They just keep it to themselves and think, am I doing right, am I doing wrong? Shall I walk away now? Never walk away. There's people around you, as Kev said, great advice. Find someone. Even your committees, they're brilliant as well. Don't talk to them, have a chat to them, and they'll sort it. But we're here for anyone, not the experienced referees. I know what you tell me. We pick the ball, walk away, abandon the game, that's it, end of. Some experienced referees that are out there, and that's what they do. But this is the amateur game.
Yeah, do you know what? Abandoning the game for me is also a last resort, because I think then potentially, at the time, I think, right, I've failed in my duty here. Until I take a step back and analyse what has been going on, what happened at certain points of the game, I will never turn around. I can turn around and go, right, now I could have done that differently, I could have handled that a little bit differently, so that's experience then to take into the next game. Alright, now, touch wood, I've only ever abandoned one youth fixture, and that was an under 15s game, and that was involving, there was players who were of an older age group that were coming on as substitutes. I was like, no they're not. So look, they come on, I send them off. They should not be in this, okay? I don't know if you've been warned or you've been told or whatever, but that's it. Okay, they come on, I send them off. Right, game's abandoned because they haven't got enough players on the field. Alright, and every card got sent in. And then I hear no comeback, no what happened with the team or anything like that. So effectively, there's no closure for me on that particular topic, and there wasn't back then. And you know what? I'm going to bring it up because 2020 I was assaulted in one of the Liverpool leagues. Now I'm assured that it's dealt with, and the player's been dealt with, and it's all been done within the league. I personally have no closure because I wasn't told the outcome. So I don't know what happened to the player, I don't know what happened to the team, don't even know if the team's still in existence.
So what we're saying is, football's governing bodies need to do a little bit more.
Absolutely.
To help referees and anyone, obviously like yourself now, I didn't know what you've been assaulted, and well done for carrying on refereeing, Kev, because that is a major plus, as we've just been talking to young referees. Obviously Kev didn't want to talk about that, he's brought it up, and really he should get the results of that, because that was the man who was assaulted. So I'd like to know, in the end of it, where was that result? And I can imagine all the referees and everyone out there, and probably a lot of grassroots football family are turning around and saying, well, it's wrong to be assaulted, it's wrong to not being told the outcome. you've continued, you've done your duty, you could have easily walked away from that.
I did walk away for a period of about 3 months, and I was encouraged to try and do, it was in a different junior league, try a couple of 9-a-side games, you know, just to see if you want to do it again, right? I was gently eased back in. Right? But quite frankly, I just come up with the attitude of, I really don't need this in my life right now. And I was quite happy to walk away.
Something.
Uh,
No, okay, Kev.
Question is though, now I'll take a step back, would I have regretted it? And the answer to that now, I can say, is 100% yes, I would have.
It's nice
Because
that you...
I'll be missing out on this season.
You would. And now, how do you feel when you're refereeing there and you've got the likes of me walking around, talking to parents, letting on, talking to you, having a little gab, half times, how things are going? How do you think, how does that make you feel that someone is actually going around talking to the parents from don't cross the line and explaining the situation, you know, about abusive behaviour to them?
Well, you already know my answer to that is I 100% support it. But then again, you'd also like a bit of a visual deterrent as well not to do it when you think about it.
Yeah.
And every time you come on the pitch and you go, you all right, Kev? Yeah, and I'm like, where's my coffee?
Yeah. You can't drink coffee on the football pitch now, can you? That's my excuse anyway. But I think, and come on, he made this as well.
Oh yeah, he
See,
did.
offered biscuits. This is what happens when you come into the studio. Now we'll have a queue of referees, you know that, Kev, don't you? They'll all be wanting to come in. No, but it's lovely to have you coming in the studio, put your point across, let's see what, you know, things will happen over the future. Now, you weren't there refereeing in North Liverpool today.
Oh.
You were busy. You're busy tomorrow in the Walton Curtail?
Yes, we're going to be scattering a brother's ashes, brother from the armed forces, so I'm afraid it's a horrible trip to Wales for me to say goodbye to another fallen comrade.
Okay.
So,
Yes, sad time then, but obviously great excuse to be away, to be honest, but obviously you wouldn't like to be doing that.
No.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no. I'd much rather be at the Walton Curtail on the Sunday morning.
There you go.
All right, and actually saying that, I put a post on Facebook a couple of weeks ago about the unsustainability part of refereeing, right? Because I had a couple of lads contact me and goes, oh, they're trying to ask me to do 7 games this week,
Oh,
2 adults and 5 kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, open your mouth and
Do
say
what you can.
you can't do it. It's not physically possible for you.
Right, there's the point. Now, people are all taking this. When they see shortage of referees, people automatically on social media turn around and go, there we go, verbal abuse again, keeping all the referees away. It's not that case, is it?
Oh, no.
Not all the time. As you just said, you've got a reasonable excuse. Brilliant. Reasonable excuse. This is what people, last week there was short of referees.
Yeah.
All the referees were doing other things. Not one of those referees were out because of verbal abuse. You're happy, the North Liverpool, the Walton Curtail, I'm happy the way the committees are working and clamping down on any verbal abuse, any aggressive behaviour.
Yeah.
Yourself as a referee, how do you see those 2 leagues? You're in both of them.
Okay, I'll give my honest opinion. The Saturday one I've not done too much of because I keep getting accosted to the Liverpool Premier League, and I'm still with the North West Counties Premier League. However, I will be giving up the North West Counties Premier League soon. That's more of a personal thing. It's just about because it's the distance travelling.
Fair enough.
Right, so I mean, like your day could literally be like 6.5 hours, and you're also cramming a football game in there. Walton and Curtail on the Sunday. So good luck all you teams that are going out there tomorrow. Go out and enjoy yourselves. All right. Remember the referee's there to support you, not India. Ooh.
As you mentioned before, with the youngster coming up to him,
Do you know what?
they're not just referees, see. They're there to help develop the kids, and that's where you parents sometimes and you coaches have got to realise they care. They've got a heart of gold as well. They're not just referees there to be abused. The referees there to develop your child as well, teaching the laws of the game. That's all it's about. Not, wow, he blew the whistle, she blew the whistle, they made a mistake. I'm telling them straight, stand back, no sideline referees. Leave the referees to officiate and develop your kids in the football. And I think grassroots football will become a lot better.
So just take it in a different context. You're driving a car and the person next to you in the passenger seat is saying, do this, do that, change gear, okay, accelerate here, drop here, right? Now, are you going to listen to that person? All right, no side seat driving. Let us run the game. We've done it for long enough.
Done it for long enough.
And
we're just going to give it a quick mention. And
yeah.
you like that idea, don't you, Kev?
I do like this idea. And I think Mal's going to be co-opting me to like give out these cards to teams now of those who show respect and encouraging fair play. And you know what? This can only be a good thing. So I don't know what you got planned. For
it's an award at the end of the season for the amounts up the teams with the most points that's been awarded by referees and nominated by referees will be sort of invited. We'll do not every single one. There'll be hundreds of teams, but there'll be teams that the referees will be able to put a report in as well. So we punish bad behaviour, Kev.
Yeah, we do.
It's nice to reward good behaviour, and Kev likes it, and he's going to be one of our referees to dish these cards out.
It's actually nice to write a glowing report about a team, because all you ever write about is bad stuff.
There you go.
So it'd be nice to say that X team was absolutely fantastic today. The respect shown on the pitch was brilliant towards each other and the team and the referee. It's something along those lines. That would be a pleasure to write.
There you go. What a finish. And also, I'd like to hold that up. We're out tomorrow. It'd be great today to North Liverpool. You missed out on that one, as normal. Thanks to Steve Smith, the boxer, for turning up for our young commentators. And also, we'll be back again tomorrow with more reports, no doubt. So everyone, no ref, no game. Behave tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks very much to Kev Moore for coming in, one of our referees. We'll have him in towards the end of the season, and we'll recap on what we've talked about today. Kev, it's been a pleasure having you in the studio.
Thank you, Mal.
We'll see you again soon. Have a great time, and I can't say, but tomorrow, my thoughts are with you there as well.
Thanks, Bill.
Good night, God bless. We'll see you tomorrow at 7.